I think it's pretty uncommon for video games to be involved in drama that has to do with politics. I mean, really, video games themselves are kind of just an escape from the real world. So this idea that video games and the distribution of it could be affected in some sort of way by politics, one side against another, it's kind of weird. It's kind of odd, but regardless, that is exactly what is happening with the upcoming game called Rise of the Ronin. This is a game by Team Ninja that is releasing next month. It's an RPG. I've really been looking forward to just kind of seeing how it turns out because it looks like incredibly cool. It's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. And yeah, it's just a single player game that's centered around 19th century Japan. I believe you're a samurai in the game. And it's kind of relevant to know that the game itself has a bit to do with real life history, the actual history of Japan in the 19th century. Based on my admittedly terrible knowledge of history, 19th century Japan was an interesting period of time. There was a lot going on in Japan, just politically, and how Japan was establishing itself in its relation with the rest of the world. And admittedly, that's about all I know. As far as the actual history itself goes, as far as the actual detail and lore surrounding it, yeah, I'm not the guy to bring the story justice. I probably can't talk about it in the best way. I'm sure there's plenty of scholars and history buffs that know way more than I do. So anyway, yeah, this game, so it's being developed by Team Ninja. They're pretty big. They are a Japanese studio that is behind the Dead or Alive series as well as Ninja Gaiden. So they definitely are no stranger to big games. So like I said, this game is coming out in about a month. And all of a sudden, just now, it ran into some big controversy with the South Korean player base. Now, exactly how this happened is due to some controversial remarks made by the game's director, Mr. Yasuda. So I believe this was during some promotional videos and like some behind the scenes type videos about their upcoming game Rise of the Ronin. And I guess during these videos, Mr. Yasuda made certain comments about a certain 19th century scholar from Japan named Yoshida Shōin. So in a nutshell, Mr. Yasuda was making favorable comments about this scholar from the 19th century. Well, the issue that the South Korean player base saw with this is that apparently this 19th century scholar played a significant role in something called the Meiji Restoration. Now again, this is based on my very loose knowledge of this. I'm kind of just figuring out about this. So go easy on me if I don't get all the details exactly right. But in a nutshell, the Meiji Restoration saw the restoration of imperial rule in Japan. And the thing mainly with the Meiji Restoration that South Korea does not like is that this restoration was also associated with advocating for the conquest of Korea in 1873, even though it looks like this did not actually materialize at that time. Now, Japan did later occupy Korea from 1910 to 1945, which was the end of World War II. So yeah, essentially South Korea, their player base, they were not too happy about the game director behind Rise of the Ronin making these comments that are in favor of this 19th century scholar Shōin Yoshida, that, like I said, was somebody that played a significant role in promoting this sort of Korean conquest roughly 150 years ago. So as a result, the South Korean PlayStation player base started seeing that, hey, they can no longer pre-order Rise of the Ronin. So there was a lot of speculation, that this might be due to the game's director sort of angering this community of people. And as of today, Sony actually officially confirmed that yes, Rise of the Ronin will not be available in South Korea. Now, it is worth noting that a representative with PlayStation did say that the game was never officially slated for release in South Korea, and I guess therefore kind of used that as, a sort of excuse, or whatever you want to call it, kind of just to, I guess, avoid the drama. But it's probably safe to assume that, yeah, this is why it's no longer going to be available in South Korea. Now it's official. It is too bad for South Korean players. I mean, it looks like it is going to be a fun game. I'm sure there are some people in South Korea who still do want to play it, but looking online, there are a lot of people in South Korea that are genuinely mad about this. The comments that were made by the game's director. I saw some comments, some tweets, some people saying that they are just, swearing off Team Ninja completely now. They won't play any games by them anymore. So very interesting. It will be kind of interesting to see going forward, how Team Ninja actually responds to this, as, they are losing out on a pretty big player base for this game. South Korea has a lot of gamers. We will see exactly what happens. We will see if they do, make an official response. Like I said, Rise of the Ronin comes out in about a month from now, on March 22nd. Like I said, definitely looks like a great game, but unfortunately, it is now a bit overshadowed with controversy.